Hey guys, so today we are going to be going ahead and talking about POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. But before we get started, let's learn some keywords. Alright, so the first couple of words might be a review, but we're going to be adding in some new ones as well. The first one is dysautonomia, and it's the umbrella term for conditions that affect the nervous system. The next word is autonomic nervous system. This controls the involuntary automatic body functions that you don't have to think about, like your breathing or your heart rate. There's two different nervous system branches that I think are important to be aware of. I'm not going to go into full-on detail on them, but I think that knowing about them is helpful. The sympathetic nervous system, which is in charge of the fight or flight mechanism within the body. It increases alertness and energy use. The next one is parasympathetic, or the rest and digest, which helps the body to relax and recover, such as when you're sleeping, because it tells your body you're tired. These keep your body in balance, or homeostasis, which is the word for a complete sense of balance. Okay, that's our words for today. Let's go ahead and get into the video. So, POTS. It affects how your body regulates the heart rate and blood flow when you stand up. It causes the heart rate to increase abnormally fast when moving from laying to sitting and even to standing. It's typically an increase of 30 plus beats per minute in adults, without a major drop in blood pressure. Why does this happen? Let's talk about it. Well, when you switch and change your posture, for those who are not in a body that deals with POTS, like sitting to standing, your body naturally shifts the blood down to your feet and moves it back up and regulates it through the body. But in somebody who has POTS, the body doesn't compensate properly during this shift, which causes the heart to race just to keep blood flowing to the brain. So in other words, the blood gets stuck in the feet and lower parts of the body. So this can cause a wide range and variety of symptoms. Of course, the rapid heartbeat, dizziness, severe fatigue because it feels like the body has already run a marathon, brain fog, shortness of breath, chest discomfort because the heart's racing so hard, headaches because of the lack of oxygen and that lack of blood flow with the oxygen in it moving to the brain, shakiness, tremors, nausea, exercise intolerance, and even fainting, though it's not one of the more common symptoms, but fainting does happen in patients who have POTS. There's only a certain percentage that get it. The exact cause of why this happens varies by person. It's never just one steady, it's this. It could be low blood volume, autonomic nerve dysfunction, blood pooling in legs, hormonal issues can make this worse. So for our dear females out there who deal with the monthlies, or for our individuals who deal with the monthlies, it's something that might affect more of the symptoms on a daily basis. Autoimmune conditions do tie in with POTS, so like Sjogren's, lupus, so on and so forth. You get the idea there. After viral illness, so sickness, infections, surgeries, genetic factors, they're all very, very common for this. Some might say deconditioning, so a lack of exercise in the body, but you can see somebody who's been a runner for their whole life who's extremely fit come down with this. My little sister is actually an example of that. And she developed POTS, and she's always been very, very healthy. So it's more common in females, teens to adult range for age, those with autoimmune disorders, and people after infections, surgeries, major stresses, and trauma. How is it diagnosed? Tilt table test, and it is a medical test that they do where the individual is strapped to a table and then tilted into a upward position, which should set off the nervous system to fire and, well, misfire, I should say, and induce the symptoms. And they've got everything on you to check for, you know, heart rate changes, blood pressure changes. Sometimes they even administer some kinds of medications to help encourage the symptoms to show through. So that is the most preferred way for the medical field currently, to test for POTS. A cardiologist is a good option to help with this, to start the journey. Neurologist, a autonomic doctor is also another great option. There's a lot of specialist options out there that would have more advice on what to do. A way that you can check is with a standing test. So you would just simply stand up, give yourself a minute to let the blood regulate, go ahead and lay yourself down, lay there for like 5 to 10 minutes. Let your body adjust to being down. Measure your heart rate while you're doing this. After, you know, you get your set numbers for laying down, you'd sit up. Measure those numbers again, take a look at the increased difference, and then you'd stand up. And that's where you'd want to keep an eye on those numbers to check for that 30 plus beats per minute. I believe for the individuals who are younger, it's 40 plus beats per minute for the jump that you need to see in the increase. They also go off of symptom history. So if you've been dealing with symptoms for a long time, that is probably also another indicator that it could be likely you have POTS. There is no cure, but the symptoms can be managed with water, salt intake, compression, small frequent meals, elevating the head of the bed, graded exercise, starting really slow with core and leg strength, because that helps with pumping the blood back into the heart. So a lot of individuals need medications, heart rate controllers, blood volume expanders, vasoconstrictors, meds for nausea, gut issues, or anxiety-like symptoms. So that is everything on POTS. If you have POTS, describe your day-to-day experience. Let's hear what it's like. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.